Okay, so here's an example of where we want the angle, right? We want to find the angle in radians such that the cosine of this angle is 0.8829, okay? So now normally we would have our calculator in degrees and then do the same thing and get our angle in degrees. But this time we want the angle in radians. So what we're going to do is just keep our calculator in radians, or put our calculator in radians if it's not, and then do the same thing. So we're going to take the inverse cosine of both of these. Okay, now, before we do that, realize that we're given the range of 0 to 2 pi, which is the same as from 0 to 360 degrees. So remember, this is one revolution. So we're going from at least 0 to less than 2 pi. Now notice the cosine is positive. This is positive, which means cosine, this angle is going to be located where? It's going to be located either in the first quadrant or the fourth quadrant. Okay? So again, if you want a visual, just visualize. Again, cosine is going to be positive here, and it's going to be positive here. Okay? So theta or here, theta or theta. Okay? So now, if we use our calculator and we use inverse, right? Inverse cosine. So again, if we take the inverse cosine on both sides, we get theta equals cosine inverse of 0.8829. And so the calculator is going to give us what value? The calculator is going to give us 0.4888. Now remember, this is always going to be the first quadrant. 0.4888, that's the first quadrant. Now, how do we get the second quadrant? Or excuse me, not the second quadrant, the fourth quadrant. Well, if this is the first quadrant angle measure, then what's the fourth quadrant angle measure? Well, the fourth quadrant angle measure is going to be this one. How do we get that? Well, we're going to take 360 degrees, or 2 pi, and we're going to subtract off theta. So to get the fourth quadrant angle, we're going to, let's call this theta 1. Okay, let's call this theta 1. And then theta 2, okay, or let's call it theta 4 for the fourth quadrant. So theta 4 is going to equal 2 pi minus 0.4888. And so what does that give us? That gives us a fourth quadrant angle of 5.794. And that's it. That's how you do it. Have a great day.